welcome back to Keep It Real Boxing. This is Cypher Box. I did say I was going to do this video this early hours this morning when I did a quick analysis breakdown kind of on Terence Crawford's victory over JULIUS INDONGO to become the undisputed champion at 140 pounds. As we all know, I'll talk about the fight again a little bit last night. Terence Crawford was just too good, too much for INDONGO. He just outclassed him, really. And let's be honest with you, INDONGO, like I said, all those flaws that I found in INDONGO's fight game were exposed last night. The overreaching with the 1-2, which is what led to the knockout in the third round. Crawford just didn't seem like he even got out of second gear. Even he said, I think in his interview, that he hasn't even broken a sweat. So INDONGO just wasn't in the same class as Terence Crawford. And shout out to Terence Crawford, he's now the undisputed champion, unified all the belts at 140 pounds. The question I have is now, what's next for Terence Crawford? Is there anything else left at 140 for Crawford to achieve, to accomplish? No, I don't think there is. There's obviously a potential fight with Mikey Garcia. That could be a fight that, won his last fight, I suppose, at 140. You remember Mikey Garcia just beat Adrian Broner a while back to become this WBC diamond belt holder. And anyone knows anything about the diamond belt, it doesn't really mean anything. It's a trophy belt. A belt that you give, when two guys step into the ring and then, you decide to give them a trophy for their victory over the other guy. Basically, it doesn't really mean anything. It has no real stature or meaning in the sport at all. It's just another way for the WBC to charge sanctioning fees, to be honest with you, and make money off fighters, in all honesty. So, does he fight Mikey Garcia? Could be a few problems there with fighting Mikey Garcia. And you got to remember, Mikey Garcia, not too long ago, was out of action for about 2 years. And the reason behind that was because he was with Top Rank and Mr. Bob Arum. He had issues with his management under Bob Arum. Didn't feel like he was being managed correctly, etc., etc. So he decided he wanted out of that contract. So for 2 years, he had a legal battle with Bob Arum and Top Rank Promotions. Finally getting out of that contract, signs up with Al Heyman now, I believe, over at PBC. This is where the problem might come with, with this fight, with a potential fight with Terence Crawford, is the politics. And whether Mikey Garcia would be happy to work with Bob Arum and Top Rank again. Al Heyman and Bob Arum, although they have done small fights together lately, the history behind those two. Bob Arum and Top Rank took Al Heyman to court, obviously, for apparently trying to he felt like Al Heyman was trying to monopolise boxing. So, they came up with an agreement, from what I understand, that, they would start doing business together and making fights together. And they have done some fights together, don't get me wrong. I believe John Molina's under Al Heyman and he fought Terence Crawford recently, but these aren't difficult fights to kind of make, I suppose. But, with Mikey and his history with Bob Arum, I don't know whether that fight would happen, whether he would be happy or he would be comfortable with doing that. I've got a feeling that would be a stumbling block. It shouldn't be a stumbling block. I know, just get around it and make the fight, because that's what these are the fights the fans want to see. The best fighting the top contenders fighting each other. So that's the only issue I find in that whole situation. Other than that, I think that's a great fight. I think that's the last thing Terence Crawford really has, at 140. That's the only option there at 140 now. There's nothing else for him to accomplish. He's accomplished everything he can at that weight. If the fight with Mikey Garcia doesn't happen, or whether the fight with Mikey Garcia happens or it doesn't, to be honest with you, either way, I think Terence Crawford needs to move up to 147 pounds. There's some good competition for him at 147 pounds. You've got Keith Thurman, WBA, WBC champion. You've got Enroll Spence at holding that IBF title. You've got Sean Porter, who would be a good a good challenge. You know, he likes to bring the fight. He's not the greatest boxer, but he's definitely, you know, he's very aggressive, and you know, he puts his opponents under a lot of pressure. So that'd be a real good test for Terence Crawford. You've got Danny Garcia still at 147 pound. You know, that could be another potential fight. Kell Brook, depends with Kell Brook. I mean, I think Kell Brook needs to get his confidence up and self-belief up. You know, he's after losing to Enroll Spence, you know, and whether he can make 147 pounds, because he didn't look very healthy going into that fight. For me, I felt he weight drained himself too much. You know, I know Eddie Hearn's trying to encourage him to move up to 154 pounds, but he's being reluctant. But like I said, there's loads of opportunities at 147 pound for Terence Crawford, and an opportunity for him to test himself. I definitely think that's the best move for Terence Crawford. You know, to be fair, I think it's the only move. If he can't get that fight with Mikey Garcia at 140, you know, I understand politics and all that nonsense that goes on in boxing might get in the way of it. But if that fight can't happen, if it can happen, great. I want to see that fight against Mikey Garcia at 140 without a doubt. If it can't happen, I think he should move up to 147 pounds and really start testing himself against those boys at 147. There's plenty, like I said, plenty of opportunity, plenty of challenges. I'd love to see some of those matchups, you know, and see how those guys do against Terence Crawford. Let me know what you think. Hit me up in the comment section. Leave a comment. Give me your thoughts on on what Terence Crawford should do next. Also, guys, if you like what you're watching, what you're seeing, hit that like button, share the video, comment, and of course subscribe to the channel. And if you do subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit that bell notification icon so you can get notified when whenever I upload videos. Also, check out my other YouTube channel, Cypherbox Pro Boxing, where I do highlight videos on boxers and fight promo videos. Just something I like to do, a little bit of a hobby of mine, but go and check it out. All the links and all my social media links are all in the description of the video. So, like I said, go and check all that out, yeah? Until next time, this is Cypherbox reminding you to keep it real.